Smriti Irani is a leader who has done more for social inclusion, the rights of women, than perhaps any other leader in India in the last several years. And she is heading the Alliance for Global Good, Gender Equity and Equality. It's wonderful to speak to you. Stop right there, Rakesh, because I want to focus a little bit on We Lead. That's a lounge which she's been instrumental in setting up as part of the Alliance for Global Good, Gender Equity and Equality. So as we look at that, Smriti ji, let me ask you my first question, which is this. We keep talking about India's demographic dividend and the potential that it holds. That can never be achieved without the role of women, right?
I think for too long we have, as Indians and global narratives, focused on what we can do for India, what is happening currently in India. And I believe that time has come that we shift the narrative to Indians leading the global narrative on issues such as inclusion, climate change, health innovations for global good. Many a times people constrain us only to our geography, believing that we may be only experts on the Indian demography. So the lounge that you see here is not a lounge which is dedicated only to the cause of inclusion or to the energy of inclusion, limited to India. We are saying we've done this in India for the world, and we are taking our learnings to even internationally acclaimed establishments such as the World Bank, the United Nations, creating collaborations with organizations like the WHO, looking at budgets by policymakers, by global innovators and captains of industry globally with regards to how much of investment can come to women-owned businesses, how much of investment can come to companies that are dedicated, let's say, to health innovations and products to make the health of an individual woman better, and how to make sure that these products are more and more affordable.
There's a striking statistic that women own a third of the world's wealth. In the next 5 years, women will control 50% of the world's wealth. Tell us a little bit about that.
I think that currently the consumption capacity of women around the world is around $20 trillion. That is something that we never talk about. When the inclusion agenda, especially with regards to women, is spoken about, it is more philanthropic in nature.
Right.
It has to do more with violence, domestic, or for that matter, outside. My belief and my experience in the gender agenda is that the more you enhance the capital capacity of a woman, the more safer an environment you give her, both at home and at work. You cannot talk about just philanthropy, be emphatic in your rhetoric, and not put the money where the mouth is. So
But let's talk about the money. $12 trillion?
I talk about...
By 2025, if gender equality is fully realized, there's a number to it. It's not just talk for the sake of talk.
There is a number to it, but how do you reach that number, correct? You are at Davos, where there is conversation predominantly on the impact of AI and automation.
Right.
Now, looking at if jobs are automated, 70% of the jobs that will go are jobs done by women, because most of the jobs of female professionals are at entry level. What happens to that big labor force that we have encouraged till now to become a part of global reality? How do they get displaced? What are the strategies of policymakers, of companies with regards to such human potential and capacity? The other part is that if you look around Davos, the conversation this year is on the next level of AI engagement. Till now, many Indians, or for that matter, global citizens, have looked at AI from a generative AI perspective, which means you give a prompt to a ChatGPT, it tells you what to draft. It may give you a prompt on music, on art, but it doesn't help you manifest, let's say, a workflow.
Right.
Now, what happens when you have AI agents, which will now become the buzzword for 2025, which is a compounded methodology of AI?
Right.
Many people presume AI is the new buzzword. AI has been in existence since the 1950s. Now, AI agents will actually lead to a further displacement of talent. Are we ready for it? Because in low-income economies around the world, the internet reach is just 20, maximum 30%. Now, these are all issues that need a conversation around, because displaced people means jobs in terms of potential which are lessened, and job displacement impact economies and society at large. It'll no longer be just a female problem. It'll be, a problem for global economies, especially the ones that are developing and haven't reached that standard yet of per capita income which can be celebrated.
Smriti ji, one of the themes which you've spoken about for many, many years is the issue of the health of women, maternal health. And again, there's a number that you have now. Every dollar invested in maternal health yields a $30 return because of improved productivity and reduced mortality. Would you like to speak a little bit about that?
We will, as global economies, lose around $15 trillion by 2023 if we do not look at health innovations that will help at least maintain productivity of women. And these numbers, in fact, are alarming because we've never looked at the issue of productivity from a health perspective. Most people, when they get into a discussion about productivity, they look at only the skill set. Now, how much of productivity is debilitated because of lack of affordable health innovation, that is a conversation that is yet to start. So my effort will be to also keep a very, very clear focus on these aspects of productivity, of ensuring that there is more capital into health innovation, especially for women.